I've seen Datyedyeguy play a little bit. I've seen gameboyf9 play a little bit. I think that on the top you're going to see different gameplay styles, and on the bottom it's going to be very similar.
And
And
here
we're
we
off.
go.
Fairy water and a fighter's ring. Not a great start in my opinion. Let's see what they got for spells. Heal and hurt will help out.
Yep, definitely heal and hurt. Guaranteed at least a little bit dealing damage to the monsters in the overworld. But oh, we might have a big swamp in our hands if we do.
That is going to be a tough play. Let's see how the players want to approach it. I wonder if they know they have heal.
Starting strength, I see it's 14 on their end.
Yeah, it looks right now like we have two mirror matches of strength HP builds versus strength HP build, and there we have our first kill by the Datyedyeguy. Simultaneously, gameboyf9 seems to have his battle won, and Ouijawii is attacking and gets the kill himself.
Did you see that level gain?
Oh man, he's really playing with fire there. I can't believe that he chose to attack instead of using his hurt, but it paid off.
Well, level 2 gave us 15 strength. And a lot of MP along with it. Oh, and level 3 already for the Datyedyeguy already too.
Yeah, I mean it's been a pretty quick level because they've had some good luck finding scorpions, and it doesn't look like the scorpions have anything that can really take them down in one shot. I think Sparkover is going to be a little upset that she didn't realize she had healed this early, because Ouijawii has a great opportunity to get those early levels up and see if he can open up some new spells. I thought I saw Sparkover open up her spell menu earlier, but she's probably looking for return, saw hurt, and didn't notice heal right above it. There, she saw it now. I'm pretty sure she got a good look at it. And now we have our race. It's level 2 versus level 3, level 3 versus level 4, and it looks like they have another block a little further ahead with a cave. Do you see which cave that was?
I believe that was Staff of Rain Cave, but I could be mistaken. Can chat give me the heads up?
And the Datyedyeguy opts to take an Axe Knight on hand to axe. And it looks like with that magic buff, they're not going to have any problem with that early swamp after level 1. So we have our first town sighting, and it looks like it's Cole, gameboyf9. Like a professional, going right to the slot.
Let's see what that item is.
Edric's token for Datyedyeguy. That's probably the middle of 3 evils, because you definitely, well, actually, I would say it's the second worst thing to see him get.
I would prefer to be Edric's armor, but the token is necessary.
Of course, but if gameboyf9 gets Edric's armor right there, I think he'd have an opportunity to open up a big lead. Being Edric's token, the only thing that would have been better was if it was nothing for Datyedyeguy. I'm speaking on his behalf, of course. And if they could have been the fairy flute, that also would have been a little bit more preferred. But they're all gonna run into it in a little bit, and they're all gonna run into a green dragon. It looks like.
And rip goes a Game Boy.
And Ouijawii followed shortly behind. And the Datyedyeguy finds Cole and right to the spot.
And looks like he can't progress any further from the south after Cole because it's being guarded by mountains already. So you probably best bet is going north.
I do not envy the map they have to draw this round.
I'm glad that I did not know how to play this seed.
Yeah, it's always tough. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I start mapping, I try to put Tantagal at least as close to the middle within reason as I can, and I try to draw the coast. And this initially, at least, looks like it's kind of a C shape, and it curls back around underneath. So I wouldn't even know where to start this.
Yeah, if I was drawing this map out, I would say I would just draw in the middle, but it seems to me the north is also a dead end, if I'm not mistaken.
And Sparko dies one tile away from Forest. Now, we talked about this before, Kite, and I think you're going to keep track of the total number of deaths this seed, right?
I believe so. I believe we just got 3 to 4 right now, according to Datyedyeguy, because he just died to a tile.
I'm just joshing you, man. I see that we have Shoptown Cantlin.
But way too early to get those coordinates right now because you do not have enough HP to get through the barrier.
What gets me is this is how good gameboyf9 is. He knows he could have gone to the item shop in Cole, opted not to stop down there, finds Cantlin right away, uses 100% of his gold.
And he's willing to explore everywhere.
Yeah, I mean he's got an internal calculator that can keep a lot of memory.
And he's cutting it close, but a good hurt spell would.
I didn't. You know, it's one of those rare instances where you can go back at no cost.
Well, that's true because he did spend every single cent of his gold, so that would not cost him a penalty.
I think that's a pretty tight matchup. The Datyedyeguy is on 4. I think Game Boy just got his next level, and we have Ouijawii on 5, and Sparko I believe is on 3, maybe just got 4.
Sparkover's on 5.
My mistake. With that early strength boost, having Hurt helped out for the initial kill and was pretty necessary in getting up to level 2. But they have such high strength right now that they're better off saving a lot of this MP for heal.
Well, speaking of level up, Ouijawii just got leveled up to level 6.
Not gonna be able to take on a blue dragon.
Yep, that's resting pepperonis for Ouijawii.
And Sparkover is using Hurt and the Scorpions, and maybe that's one of the keys. I think it's been a lot of one-hit kills, because remember, Sparkover got to level 2 last out of all 4 runners, and ended up making up a lot of time, and might even have the EXP lead. Oh, not on Ouijawii, but on the other 2 runners.
And Yout, Star River just wiped out the Datyedyeguy.
I haven't seen much in terms of special abilities yet. Have you seen a lot of magic or any Dragon Lord breath yet?
No deal or breath from anything yet.
Just those blue guards. Dragons everywhere. And Ouijawii found coal as well.
Well, he's gonna get his token, no problem.
I'll have to check out the shop first to save some steps. Goes club and small shield. I think the only oh, didn't search.
Oh, that might actually bite him in the end.
Is it possible he already has a token?
I didn't see his items.
I didn't either.
And I inform you folks, this is not a big swamp seed at all.
Yeah, whew. And we have another cave found by Sparkover. Sparkover took a different route, it seems, than the upper two matches, and is exploring a different part of the map that I haven't seen yet. And there's Hurt More on the Green Dragon.
And yep, there goes Sparko, back to start.
And Tandem as the Blue Dragon takes out Ouijawii.
And I believe Game Boy is just grinding on, probably maybe he's looking for a middle slime of some sort, or maybe it's just Scorpion.
I bet with a seed like this, you gotta hope, especially in some of these tough games, that you can get an edge, maybe by doing that extra grind early and opening up heal more just a bit before everybody else. Because when you have this MP boost, getting the next spell could be the difference between it turning in from a quick seed into a rocket seed.
And goodbye, Game Boy, you just got wrecked by Drill Magi, while Datyedyeguy taking on the Poltergeist. We got 2, 5, 2, and 12 on level 6, and we got, ooh, the spell, Repel.
Always nice to see Repel earlier in the game, because when you need it later and you don't have it, it's too late. They had, this seed is playable only because they have heal and hurt. But it would have been interesting to see, because they got a fighter's ring and fairy water early. I wonder how these four players would play differently if they had access to gold after discovering that coal was there.
I don't think you can actually gold grind this seed, to be honest.
I don't know if... Oh, and the metal slime is hurt more. Talk about a mean trick.
Yeah, so battling metal slimes I would not deal with unless you know you have RNG luck on your side.
And they're fast enough where you can't really run from them with much success early in the game.
Oh, Game Boy just got his level 6 gain.
And a Star Wyvern ends the Datyedyeguy run. And we have Ouijawii. Looks like another level. Level 7.
I just saw Sparkover screen, and I just saw, if I'm not mistaken my eyes, wolves have Dragon Lord breath.
Ouch. When an armored knight catches Ouijawii one step away from the cave.
And good night to Ouijawii.
And gameboyf9 has found... Is that Garrus? Not Garrison. Garrus something. Garringham. It might take me the whole first round, but I'll get a hang of these town names.
But at least you still have that backdoor that comes in handy in Garringham if they can find Ribbledar later on.
Yeah, like knowing where a couple of these towns where you have keys is key, because you also don't know what's in a couple of those caves where you might be able to dive in if you find a swamp cave. I mean, a grave or something like that, where you can dive in and get a magic key, and all of a sudden, all these places with that are key locked become accessible. Ooh, and the Wyvern does just enough to take down gameboyf9.
And for the looks of it, on the Ouijawii's side, I believe he's in Mountain Cave by the movements he's going to.
Yeah, I was trying to check that out. I was switching between the looking at the stats in the game, and I didn't get a chance to see what the initial move was. But Edric's sword has been found, and that is the grave.
Oh wow, that is a big attack boost for Ouijawii.
That changes the game.
I can say this much: Ouijawii is about to slice and dice his way through the swamp cave, not swamp cave, the grave right now.
Unfortunately, I don't think Ouijawii has the magic key to get into the second and third, or the fourth and fifth chest in here. So, I was wondering what the play was. And the armored knight has packed the bag, looking to send Ouijawii, but he will not go back to Tentacle.
Nobody's trying to get back to Garringham, but
By the skin of his teeth, he gets away from a green dragon. You know, for HP strength build, they got a lot of strength and not too much HP.
I just wonder if the HP is going to come into the later game, because we know Ouijawii at level 7 right now.
I've been keeping up with some of the matches, and I've seen a few seeds where they've had to be up to level 18 and even 19 in order to beat the Dragon Lord. If that HP doesn't go up and they can't even use the Death Necklace, that might not be a problem given their strength. But if they can't survive 2 Dragon Lord breaths, that's not really going to lend itself to making an attempt at Sharlock, because they got to be north of 97 to feel comfortable.
Well, that's true, because we know Sharlock is always been the game changer in these seeds.
But 72 magic at level 7 and only 33 HP is very troubling. Less than half your HP, less than half your MP in health. And that's one thing Sparkover has going for her, because if they get up to level 8 at roughly the same time, and level 8 ends up being something like Hurt More, getting that Edric sword isn't really going to hurt as much. It's really the later in the game that Hurt More becomes available that Edric sword is going to yield benefits.
And I believe the tie-dye guy is in the grave right now, if I'm not mistaken by his movements.
Yeah, I think so. And there's a sword. Now, for you, Chitin, what level would you have to be in to dive into that cave and feel comfortable without a torch, without radiant, without anything like that?
Oh, especially for me, if I have that layout memorized, I'll be comfortable going at maybe at level 6 or 7 to get in the grave first. But without the radiant, since I'm still kind of new here, I would be less confident without the radiant spell, to be honest, or a torch.
I've ruined many a seed trying to dive into the same cave and getting beat by the same monsters, whether it's an armored knight or a lot of Star Wyvern deaths there. Even some of the ghost family of enemies, because you can't run from them all the time, have ended my run or caused me to be much higher time.
Yeah, especially when we had that matchup against each other, didn't we, Will?
Yep. It's a vicious thing when you have to get the same guards blocking the same areas.
And I believe the tie-dye guy is taking note that the flame sword's here, but it's kind of pointless. But he's looking at that silver shield price, though.
At this point, now that he has access to the stores here, probably large shield, I'd imagine. Yeah. Up. Considering the chainmail, that's interesting. I think I would have gone with the large shield, though. I think the large shield is something that you know you're going to hold on to and you can beat the game with. Like chainmail, you can get rid of at the snap of a finger. If you get the coordinates, or if you find a gold man, even, you can get a half plate armor.
Well, considering that they have the chainmail right now, I would be certain that maybe they're looking for maybe there's could be a search spot on Hawksness right now, because we have no idea where Hawksness is, or if it's the fairy fruit, it's gonna be a Hawksness.
If they even have the life to take on whatever's there, because and I mean, it doesn't necessarily even have to be a red dragon. With herd more that the green dragons have, it could be any of the dragon family. It could be an armored knight. It could be even an axe knight, because I don't think they can do enough damage, except for actually maybe Ouijawii or Datyedyeguy could do enough damage, but I don't think they could stop the attacks of an axe knight that was there, or survive for 2 turns to land enough shots to win.
Well, speaking of fun police, the tie-dye guy just ran into it and got wrecked.
Yep, fun police on patrol.
And I believe Ouijawii is about to grind on the wolves, or maybe the blue dragons if necessary.
I think that's not a bad call.
Well, one blue dragon says, you're gonna go back.
But with such high MP, you can get down there pretty quick. And if you can get 1 blue dragon kill, that's a third of the EXP Ouijawii has gotten for the entire game.
Well, speaking of the grave, Sparkover's about to get her sword, and whether she gets in here.
I know that she's not aware of what's going on with Ouijawii, but she managed to keep a really tight EXP race, even though he got the sword a little while earlier. And Ouijawii gets stopped in his tracks again en route. Oh, I didn't see what got the tie-dye guy. Did you?
I did not. Probably got wrecked by the armor knights.
And Game Boy seemed pretty satisfied in that desert, but you're never happy to see a Star Wyvern when you can die in a hit and a half, because if you fail running once, you are in a lot of trouble, no matter what. Not a lot of key possibilities early. I haven't seen the Swamp Cave either. Have you?
I haven't seen no Swamp Cave either. Everyone's been like either at the grave or at Cole or even at Geringham. That's it, but no backroad to Geringham yet either.
I wasn't sure if Game Boy F9 had gotten Edric's sword, but I guess not.
He has not seen the grave yet.
Interesting. And these players are getting rinsed and sent back to the king. It's been a rough go for Sparkover and Datyedyeguy and Ouijawii, but I feel like every time I pick my head up, there's a Star Wyvern or a Blue Dragon or even a Green Dragon sending them back to the king.
Yeah, folks, this is not the sea for the faint of heart.
Yeah, the metal slime thing is vicious because you think you get a break the first time you find a metal slime because you're like, oh, I'm low enough attack, I might be able to get a quick 255, and then you find out there's hurt more. Next time, what are you gonna do? Try to run? You're not gonna escape.
Ouch! And Game Boy just got wrecked by Dragon Lord Breath of the Druid Lords.
Oh, the fun level just keeps going up. And Ouijawii runs into his second consecutive Blue Dragon fight, runs away.
But the Nerd Blue Dragon claims another victim. Goodbye, Datyedyeguy.
And there's a Star Wyvern. Scenes like this, I love comparing American Gladiators Powerball, because they just go in, they try to make their run and get to the goal, and then they end up getting bounced by a gladiator.
I could make that same comparison, but I prefer using the Legend of the Hidden Temple reference, where it's like, oh, there's a temple guard in every corner.
Yeah, they gotta put that silver monkey together.
Oh, come on, HS. You don't need to be that sorry that you roll quantity this bad.
Now Game Boy is gonna get the bad news here, I think. Gonna heal up, only to realize it's futile.
It may not be futile.
Oh! Avoids the Dragon Lord breath.
Up to NG, we got Dragon Lord breath everywhere.
I never would have seen this coming. If 30 minutes into a seed, Sparkover is barely able to afford leather armor. It's so tough because they make a run to one place and they can't accrue enough gold to get whatever's there, so they have to spend it. So you get 700 or something like that, and you get a goal of saving up to 1,000, and you might just lose it all in 2 trips just by getting killed by who knows what, having Dragon Lord breath or hurt more. They got up to 7 real quick, and all players are at 7 now, and it seems like there was like cap of experience around 600 that Game Boy's just about at.
Unless this Droll Magi just wrecks him.
I haven't seen a Dragon Lord breath yet, so it's got to be 25%, which is nice.
And good night, Ouijawii. Arbor Knight, just sliced and diced.
And the Golem is going to stop Sparkover for exactly 33 life.
3516 for level 8 on Game Boy's side.
Able to survive an attack from a blue dragon, but tell me if you've heard this before, cannot escape.
What can we say? The temple guards are being angry today.
Yeah, they're never going to win their BK Ratch tech with play like this.
Well, isn't kind of...
It was Druin Lord with the breath, not Magi.
Well, it's kind of ironic that Game Boy has like a little exploration advantage since he has no Edric sword or even gone to the grave yet.
Well, he's like 50 Cent. You can find him in the club. If it's the Druin Lord with DL2 breath, then Droll Magi is a really good grind.
Yeah, that's my only thing. My only thinking right now is maybe that's your best monster to grind at this level.
Well, it'll cost you maybe 2 heals, get you 58 experience, and because you have such high magic and you know you're not at risk to die, you don't have to worry about respawning unless you run into a metal slime. Sleep, attack, and here comes a hurt more. Not yet. There's a second. Oh.
Oh no.
Back to sleep. And Game Boy gets the win. 255. Avoids hurt more. Goes up to level 9 and opens up the biggest EXP lead of the game.
2977, and he gets Radiant for his troubles and outside.
And the Blue Dragon. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are going back to the king.
Well, folks, welcome to Dragon Warrior Monopoly.
Yeah, and they're paying a lot of luxury tax for getting that Edric sword early. Armored knights and blue dragons galore.
Certainly, this seed looks like one of the roughest I've seen from these 4 players.
If the HP was 10 more and they could survive a few more shots, they'd at least be able to explore a little bit more. But there's like a threshold, and after they try to pass it, they run into one of the like 3 creatures of doom. It's either a Star Wyvern, a blue dragon, or it's an armored knight, and they just keep on bouncing them back to start.
And don't forget that lovely fun police we call the Red Dragons.
I just know that to get into an encounter with that metal slime and twice be put to sleep and never see a heal more and be able to land 3 shots, that is good fortune that you will not see the rest of this seed from any of the other screens, I bet.
But Druid Lord, Sparkover's gonna get a rude awakening soon.
barbecued.
Well, like Dreamlords, they like their players roasted and well done.
So it looks like we have a spelunking adventure for Ouijawii. We have exploration of the southeast by gameboyf9. We have Sparkover going to what I'll call the Impossible Pass, filled with droll magi and things that make you go back to the king.
And I'm wondering what's in where Ouijawii is right now. Is it either swamp or is he in the mountains?
I believe he's back at the king thanks to that wolf, because that's Dragon Lord breath on the wolf as well.
Well, roasted and be well done then.
This is one of those seeds that, I mean, they can't even get enough momentum to go forward, because every time they get... I haven't seen anyone run out of magic yet in maybe 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's like almost like it's nearly impossible to run out of magic at this rate.
And they're using it pretty liberally. Like, they get out of the swamp and they immediately cast heal every time up to full life. But their maximum HP is just 41, I think, at level 9, it looks like. And for Sparkover and Ouijawii, a green dragon there has hurt more that kills him in one shot no matter what. You get a wolf up there for gameboyf9. 69 damage. Good luck.
This seed is asking for getting wrecked 24/7.
Ouijawii falls to a green. Oh, and not to be outdone, Datyedyeguy gets away from the red dragon and continues up here. Looks like he's going northwest on the from the castle. He might have reached that point because the way that the enemies are zoned out, he might reach a point where there are safer enemies the further he goes away from the castle.
Well, speaking of caves, look at the Datyedyeguy, guys. He found another cave.
Jerk!
Yep, King Jerk Cave has been found. And rip goes the Datyedyeguy.
Based on the fact that they found enemies in both those caves, I think there's a decent chance that those were the two item caves where they were the grave and the mountain cave. They might need the key in order to unlock a door to get to the swamp cave underneath Datyedyeguy. That's going to change how this whole game goes, because if something like Rimmildar isn't available as easily because these guards, if they can get a magic key from the mountain cave, that could change the whole game.
Well, we can say this seed is doable. You can still grind, but there's a lot of things that could change the game.
There are a lot of things that are doable, but I could get a tattoo on the side of my head, but I just don't think it's a good idea. This is one of those seeds that I might prefer a tattoo on the side of my head to playing this.
Well, Gameboy just got his Edric sword.
shout outs to anyone who can pull off the head tattoo. It's just not my look.
And rip the tie-dye guy to Fun Police.
There's a lot of red in that tie-dye. It ended up being that Edric's sword meant absolutely nothing. That's crazy. To get Edric's sword and have it completely nullified just because the enemies are too difficult and your HP is too low.
At this rate, I'll be begging to go after the mill size, which the tie-dye guy is about to encounter right now, which is getting sleeped.
It's one thing to keep on getting killed by red dragons and armored knights. It's another thing to be mocked by metal slimes. Oh no.
Adios, Sparkover. You've been blue dragon hit.
Okay, so based on this, it seems like only gameboyf9 doesn't have the dragon scale, but otherwise they are completely matched up, other than armor category, which you have one leather and one chain mail in each matchup. When they say it doesn't get any tighter, it doesn't get tighter.
This is already equivalent to we're getting squeezed by the death necklace on the overworld. It turned we did see Catelyn earlier.
Well, when you tell your friend you want to race, and then they say yes, but you don't tell them the race is through rush hour traffic, I mean, that's what this race is. It's like, these are really great runners. We're going to give them the most difficult seed to play and see how they can grind through this traffic.
Well, this ain't ordinary traffic. This is most likely the equivalent to the Los Angeles traffic where I'm from California.
And I believe that it's Goldman, and they said in chat has Dragon Lord breath as well, because, you know, why not?
Why not just throw the whole Golem family into it?
So, the green dragon can't guard the item at Hawksness, right?
That is correct.
So, is the green dragon still able to guard the swamp cave, or no?
I believe it can, because I remember vividly there was a green dragon in one of those seeds.
So there might be there's a decent chance that one of the enemies that is merciless to them on this trip might be at those two grind positions. Like, it's not unreasonable to think, oh, well, maybe there'd be a golem and, I don't know, a star wyvern. And I guess star wyvern it couldn't even be. It'd have to be like a blue dragon or even a red dragon, I guess. Oh, and the tie-dye guy has been put to sleep. And then put to sleep. 37 exactly. That's bad luck.
And we did get some news from HS, which, ooh, we might have a lot of ground to cover soon.
This is silly. We have Hawksness there at least, so we'll figure out who's guarding what.
Please, something without no D-Lord 2 breath. It's doable. We got Blue Dragon, but good night, gameboyf9, for trying.
So, we have a benefit being a commentator where we can look back and see how some of these special abilities come together. And I gotta say, that screen might give me nightmares.
Well, here's a fun fact for you, Will. Apparently, level 10, we have over 100 MP.
It's like getting the coffin with really thick, cushiony sides. It'll be really comfortable as they put you to sleep.
Why does this remind me of the Rest in Peace match from The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez?
Because you want to look away, but you can't help but watch it and hope that something chaotically goes right.
Well played, Will. Well played. That's all I can say.
Well, if it gets really bad, I'll bring out that chloroform rag from, what was that, WrestleMania 9?
Oh god, not that matchup.
You called down the thunder. Right now, a Dracula has to be the most welcome thing in the world to see.
Let's just hope Sparkover just grinds on them.
I know it's only 20 EXP at a time, but just the fact that you don't have to go and start all the way back at Datyedyeguy again is worth it. And this also, I mean, the randomizer loves to have these one-tile inlets that lead to the rest of the map. That could be something on the other side, either a cave to dive into, or maybe even if they have good luck, Rimmildar. Or Green Dragon, you know. We always wanted one of those.
But I wouldn't want to stay with a wolf.
Wolf. And I see the top of a cave there. And I think Sparkover is going to have a chance to try out that fancy radiant spell. Oh, nope. Free stuff cave.
Still the sunlight, what do you give us? A cursed belt.
Yeah, that fits with this seed. The free item they give you is worthless and useless. But at least it lets them know that at least one of the other items is buried.
Yeah, but the question is, which item, though?
Yeah, because they already found the coal item, so it could represent that, theoretically. Interesting. So we have an interesting gold grind from the Datyedyeguy. Goes down, gets that 600 chest for gold, gets out, and I would say right now, based on how much gold he has, he could be looking at that large shield.
Ooh, Sparkover found South Swamp Cave, which is uses the return spell.
Huge!
Oh.
Finds both towns, able to get keys, able to go and finally explore the castle. This is the opening that she needed.
And for those who do...
She's also
go
on
ahead.
level 10, too.
No, she's still at level 9.
Oh, I was mixing up my screens for a second. I think Game Boy and Datyedyeguy are both on level 10, though.
But here's the good thing, though. Since we know that Sparkover found the South Swamp Cave, there is also a nifty spell she has in her arsenal called Outside, which can warp her to the north side of the cave.
Well, it lets us also know that underneath Datyedyeguy has to either be. You said that they already found the Staff of Rain cave, so that has to be the mountain cave, right?
Indeedy, but Gelos was buried in Rimildar. Hello, Death Necklace.
True. I think Sparkover got a full slate of keys, but I don't know for sure.
Oh, I think I know what she's doing. She's gonna warp.
Yeah. I didn't even see her dive into the other town, though. I guess she knew it was Breckingham.
Yeah, it might be Motel 6 town.
Makes sense. I mean, if you can't afford anything, and you already know where the items you want are, makes no sense. But is not going to have enough gold to buy a key here, right? Because I thought that the gold was all but gone. Oh, this is a great move. Diving into the mountain cave, getting whatever chest she can from in here before coming out and seeing if she can grind on gold on the treasury items.
Hello, Mountain Cave in the basement.
And it's one of those seeds where the safest place to be seems to be in the caves, because I think they all had an easier time in the grave than they did on the overworld map.
Yeah, the overworld said, forget you guys. We'll be safer here in the caves.
It's a mean seed when, in all likelihood, probably 2-3 items are virtually door locked, and Rimildar is such an awkward position so far away.
Yeah, especially it's like in a small continent though, if you kind of notice.
I really like this because Sparkover gets that magic key, has a torch, so when she gets sent back to the king now, she won't have to dive into the cave to grind. I think that chat was mentioning that they didn't know why she didn't dig into the treasury because she had 4 keys. This is going to make a gold grind way more possible, because if she gets every treasure in here, goes back to the king, goes down the staircase, back up, back down, the first staircase, the first chest she opens won't go away because the queue will be completely full, right?
Exactly, because then she can stock on how much gold she needs.
Because I don't know about you, but I've many a time gone and tried to grind gold, accidentally missed a chest or got killed before I could get to it, opened up one chest in the treasury, and it ended up being the only one with gold, so I couldn't even grind.
Yeah, I remember that matchup because I actually commentated on that match, to be precisely.
Yeah, see, the thing about that with me is you're gonna have to be more specific, because it has happened more than once. I fell victim to that a couple times, and then I found out that I don't want to do that anymore.
It was the first quad match I had to do in the first round, I believe, that I commentated on yours.
Oh yeah, that was a toughie. I think it was a post 2-hour seed for me.
Oh yeah, Mr. Holmes bring out a good point. She could have cast it outside.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know why she did that. I thought that. Oh, a Harp Knight. She's always wanted one of those.
Activate glitch.
You got a dragon scale. Oh, it's not a dragon scale though. I love this game of like what is that called? Let's make a deal.
Oh yeah.
The cursed belt becomes a silver harp. What is this? That's a silver harp. You know. And now I think maxed out herbs, if I picked that out correctly.
I believe so.
Oh, but that's the rub right there, and that is one of the great reasons why you should take the treasury first. Because if she would have grabbed the treasury first, she might have had access to grind gold within the mountain cave and use outside to get out. But with both the harp and the token, she's got to be looking to move on and go into the back room at Garenham and get that last treasure bundle.
Either that or turn in the harp for the staff of rain.
Oh, I forgot it was Cole over here. My mistake. I thought it was Garenham over here and Cole in the opposite position. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if I've seen gold higher than 1,000 for more than a few minutes this entire seed on all screens.
I believe you are correct because I haven't seen anything higher than that unless you're planning to grind it out for the legendary silver shield.
Well, the big get this time was a large shield, and I see everybody else has equipment that costs less than 400.
Oh, but everyone's gonna be happy at level 11 for the Datyedyeguy and gameboyf9 because 1111 gives them their the legendary hurt more speed. Hurt more spell, sorry, my bad.
And with 80 MP, and it seems like they got an attack boost too, because they're doing a lot more damage.
How about 105 attack power?
Wow. That is a 13 boost between 10 to 11, and along with that, it looks like a 13 boost to HP, which you're going to be glad to see. You know, because Sparkover had been on her mission to collect keys and to go through the mountain cave, she's a level behind, but has so much material on the rest of the players, and is the only one who knows where to get keys.
Yeah, especially where Soft Swamp Cave is located. It's kind of awkward.
Well, I think it looks like the Datyedyeguy might be en route to Rimeldar, but you never know if you're going to be able to make it with such a crazy enemy set. Game Boy's hurt more strat on the blue dragon did not yield any benefits, it looks like. But luckily is able to retreat and try again. Jump before the first... Oh no. Going back.
Oh, but here comes the industry putting prey right now. Let's see what's in back of Garingham.
And here's Ouijawii against the Star Wyvern. Whew. Woof.
Gold grind.
Holy, and the bank has been broken. You're able to get up to, it looks like around, on average, maybe 1,950 gold from those 3 chests if you keep on grinding here. Worst case scenario. So they have access to more gold.
And we got Tablet Cave on Sparkover side from the Garingham basement.
I think this has got to be, if this isn't the Stones of Sunlight, it's got to be on level 2 or 3 of the grave. Oh, that's disheartening.
Well, that was a bust. So it must be in the grave that's been locked behind the door.
But there's also another way to look at this. If the other players are able to get the quest item, actually they wouldn't be able to go to the bottom of the grave until they get keys. And you know, with the order of how the towns are arranged, the logical order that you would go with that key is you would attack the mountain cave first because it's local. You would then move on to Garanham, and so they're all gonna probably find out that that cave has no purpose, just based on the proximity and the location of those doors.
Well, speaking of Death Necklace, let's just hope the tie-dye guy gets to the Rimadar key stuff, because that's where the Death Necklace is being held at.
Well, the tie-dye guy opened up an interesting opportunity right here because he's got great magic. He now has the Death Necklace, so he's ready to go on terms of that, because he already has the Fighter's Ring too. So after he has the equipment, he has nothing else he's looking for. Obviously, I'm not talking about quest items. I mean, equipment-wise, or things that influence your stats.
And I believe Sparko's about to go get out the mountain cave right now, but I think she's gonna try to get some levels on her way down there.
One of the things I didn't even consider, they found so many places there that they could use keys that the grave might come after looking in Cantlin to see where you can find the item on the overworld map.
Well, Ripperoonie Sparkover, because she got fun policed. And hello, 6 towns on the Datyedyeguy guys. That was the other town, basically.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna dive and see what the guard is down here.
Well, we might get our wish come true, because here comes the guard.
Who do you think it is? I think it's a golem.
I'm guessing at least a stone man.
Next Knight is a winnable fight, but not at their current level of light. Actually, they have hurt more. They're good. Oh no!
Yep. Axe Knights would heal more. How appropriate it can be.
It's not great to see, but it's not terrible to see either, because if they're using heal more, they're not killing you.
And I believe we got a princess rescuing time for the tie-dye guy.
That's one thing that Sparkover definitely couldn't do on the trip back after getting keys, because she just didn't have the levels to take on the Guardian. Now Sparkover has decided to execute the gold grind, and I think this is the best move. I really like the idea of using your outside right now, knowing that you can beat all the enemies in a mountain cave, or at least get away, and grinding up to that higher level equipment so that your lower level life doesn't necessarily cripple your potential later on in the game. Because if they can't survive anything right now, at least with a silver shield and with magic armor, they'll be able to recover life as they walk, and they'll be able to take less damage from any of the enemies.
Well, speaking of level 12, Game Boy on level 12 has heal more.
Yep. Well, watch. Let's see if that can help him out with this green dragon, because he's gonna have to use 8 magic, but only go up to 69 health.
Yep, get your grinding gears, folks, because we gotta go grind.
I think this is going to be a huge development because once Sparkover can get that silver shield and just know that she has that, it'll make her able to be okay with a low HP level run on the Dragon Lord, or at least more okay with it. Ouijawii might be in a position where he never has the opportunity to gold grind and decides that the large shield might be the best that he can afford. So, Chitin, when you approach Hawksness, do you go north or south when you walk into the town?
I always go south because that's a lot faster than going north, to be honest.
I thought so too. I normally go south myself. But if Game Boy's doing it, I'm wondering if I did everything wrong.
My guess is that he could be voiding some of the desert tiles in Hawksness.
That heal more made the Blue Dragon possible.
Let's see what's under the dragon, though.
The armor. He's gonna see a lot of those blue dragons, I bet.
And if you have that armor right now, we know where the fairy flute is. Could be possibly bleed. Could be the coordinates for this map.
Well, they already searched Cole, right? And he found Hawksness, so yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a second cursed belt yet.
So it has to be the fairy flute on the overworld somewhere.
And so now Sparkover has does she have Hurt More yet? Yeah. Hurt More, magic armor, and she has the best equipment money can buy.
And she's about to get her coordinates for the fairy flute, which she doesn't know that because we all know that Hawksness is guarding the armor.
Unless he doesn't have coordinates, though. If the fairy flute's found in the chest, maybe that could be the second level of the grave or even a treasury.
Coordinates are 47 south, 17 east. And speaking of levels, gameboyf9 is at level 13 with a boost of 5383 on level 13.
I know that it's going to be a bit of a wild goose chase going on that flute hunt for Sparkover, but they all are going to have to do a little bit of catching up because the Datyedyeguy is now in the mountain cave, and Game Boy has Edric's armor. But I think Ouijawii is about to get Edric's armor as well, so they all have a little bit of a different kind of advantage. Wow, 16 is enough to kill that dragon. Ouijawii has a grasp of the mat that is daunting.
And Ouijawii has the armor now, so I would be blaming him if he's gonna grind on the dragons.
Man, but that's how important Healmore is. gameboyf9 got all the way up to 13, and Ouijawii and Sparkover are both at, I think, 10, 11, respectively.
And the Datyedyeguy is at level 12, though, so basically we have 10, 11, 12, and 13 on across the screens.
I forgot because Sparkover had very, very few encounters. No!
Adios, and good night, Sparkover. You just got Armor Knight.
I remember growing up, I always felt like the Armored Knights looked like double dragon villains.
You're not the only one who thought of that back then.
I think Sparkover is one level away from Hurt More. I believe it's level 11.
It's actually level 12.
No, I thought Heal More was 12. I thought Hurt More was 11.
No, Healmore was 13.
Oh, wow. Because the Datyedyeguy seems to have Heal More at 12, and I don't know.
I could be wrong though. It could be 12.
Well, the Datyedyeguy right now is grinding gold as well, so we have 2 Edric armor finds versus 2 gold grinds, which rhymes. Right.
Okay, so Hurtmore's at level 11. Healmore's at level 12. There we go.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sparko get that Hurt More and just start diving into the swamp cave to take on those Axe Knights.
And she got the fairy flute.
She's gonna miss that cursed belt, I know.
Let's just hope she can find Hawk's Nest though.
If she completes this quest item and ends up getting the Stones of Sunlight, she's gonna save, or she's gonna be roughly, in my opinion, 10 to 15 minutes ahead of the other runners who still have to discover that there are towns that don't have what they're looking for first before diving into the grave. But survival is necessary, and unfortunately, her lower levels really hurt her when she's diving into this cave because she's too hit by so many different enemies. Oh no!
Dragon Lord Breath strikes again.
And I think that in the entire time that she's been trying to make this run for the cave, she's only gotten 50 to 100 experience. So that lead that Ouijawii had turned into a huge amount. Now it's 2,000 from being the same level. And the worst part is, even if she finds Hawk's Nest, because it's a blue dragon, she's probably not going to be able to take on the blue dragon for 2 levels until she gets Hurt More. I mean, realistically, you could approach the dragon with Hurt More strats, but as we saw for gameboyf9, that's not going to work out in your favor too often.
Oh lord. Green dragons have heal more.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fair to give him Heal More, right?
At least it's less threatening though, in my opinion.
And at least if they have spells and they're going to cast them either 50% or 25% of the time or whatnot, it gives you a chance to heal up and not have to worry about getting killed. So even though Sparkover doesn't have Hurt More or Heal More, if she's able to land a couple stop spells on a green dragon, that could be a good way to earn EXP right now.
And the Datyedyeguy is about to get his coordinates for the flute.
That armored knight almost got Sparkover again. And then the red dragon. Whew!
Talking about dodging bullets.
And a gold man, who might be the most dangerous of them all. Sparko going for the 3-hit kill on the Axe Knight. Gets it. I think that she realizes that she can't survive a dive into that cave again. It's got to be a different methodology. So now going to Hawks and seeing what's in here, She's not gonna be happy to see that blue dragon, though.
Did you look at Game Boy stats right now?
Yeah, that's an insane HP buff. Man, that's why these pro players, they scare me, because I swear he has to be putting in cheat codes. I'm looking at his screen and he knows the exact place to be, get some great encounters, and all of a sudden he opened up a huge EXP lead. And I know that we thought that Ouijawii had a big EXP lead, but I think that the fact that gameboyf9 is doing it while the Datyedyeguy is kind of grinding himself to get some levels is, wow, just really, really impressive.
I just wonder if Game Boy is gonna go for the oh, speaking of Dribbledor, he just found it.
Yeah, he's about to play a little bit of catch up, and if I'm the other players right now, that lead is gonna evaporate quick because he's level 14. When he casts Repel, he has a different level of respect than everybody else in the map, and he's gonna be able to breeze through the overworld map a little bit easier than the other players.
But here's the funny thing though, we have not seen Charlotte Castle anywhere on this continent.
Well, we do know that it's not through the Swamp Cave, because the Swamp Cave is just one island with the 2 towns.
But here's the bigger question, how big is the other continent we started with?
Wait, I'm pretty sure that there's only one main continent, and then there's the Swamp Cave leads to a different island. I didn't realize that there were 2 continents. Are you talking about like the inlet that is in the, like when you first go east from Datyedyeguy up and to the left, like to the northwest? Are you talking about that area?
Exactly, because like, for all we know, is Charlotte could be on that main continent alone.
I think, what is that? Maybe 3 battles away from level 11 for Sparkover, and the Datyedyeguy is pretty close to level 13. Edric's armor has been found. So now it's just Sparkover has to get Edric's armor. The 2 players on the right, Game Boy and Ouijawii, could use a shield upgrade if they have an easy grind, but it doesn't look like Game Boy F9 is going to grind here, but he might have an opportunity to accidentally grind.
Well, don't forget, Game Boy still needs to turn in that heart for the Staff of Rain, which is nearby.
Right, but I think that the bottom chest in the mountain cave, like the last one that they go in their route to get, that's a gold one, so they're gonna have like an incidental gold grind.
I wouldn't be surprised if everyone has silver shields by the time they dive into Sharlock.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the natural progression of things. I think, unless you decide like Sparkover did to not get the gold from the treasury, it seems like a winning idea.
Yeah, and according to chat right now, Ouijawii has a 3K experience lead over Sparkover right now.
I will say that one of the real funny tricks that Randomizer plays on you is after you do that gold grind, you come into Garringham, and these are all just gold chests.
Well, Datyedyeguy is about to find out the hard way.
And Game Boy F9 has found it's empty. And a harp knight. Here we go. I believe that's the
Disappointment of a torch.
And it is grind time.
Yup. Hello, Silver Shield. Less than a few minutes.
It's a clinic in menuing. So, normally when you play a seed and you're an hour and 20 in and you don't have all the material together to put the rainbow drop, normally you feel like you're behind. But in a seed that's this difficult, I wonder how each player feels they are, especially given the high level of competition that they know they're playing against. Like, is it in Ouijawii's head right now that he doesn't have the harp or stones of sunlight?
Yeah, if I was in a Ouijawii shoes, I'd feel far behind.
We found Charlotte.
Yep, right beside Jerk Cave.
So we have a heal more for the Datyedyeguy going in through his fight with the Red Dragon. We have Sparkover finding Edric's armor. And a metal slime. Interesting. Blocking the spell. I cannot believe that stop spell worked. And Sparkover with a much needed metal slime kill.
Now the biggest question on everyone's mind is, where is that darn Stones of Sunlight? Oh, interesting fact from HS. Metal Science for this seed has 0 resistance to stop spell.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was looking that up myself. That's really, really interesting. And the Datyedyeguy gets a kill on a Red Dragon for some much needed 255 experience of his own. And these armored knights are much more welcome this point in the game, but the Red Dragons are not, as the Datyedyeguy is able to escape one.
And Sparkover now officially has her Heal More spell.
Okay, so now we're in an interesting predicament because Ouijawii does have level 14, but is not currently in possession of the Silver Shield. Sparkover denied by the wizard. Gets away on the second attempt. The wizard only did 8 damage because her new shiny Edric's armor. But the wizard... And it looks like the first... or the next key in this cave is a magic key on the next level, and the deep item, the final item available, is going to be the Stones of Sunlight. How funny that all 3 players are in the same cave at the same time going for the same item.
Yeah, but don't forget, Ouijawii is way behind because he doesn't know where the silver harp is.
Well, you know how Sparkover was kind of in a position where she thought she needed to get that flute because it could have been one of the quest items? By the time Ouijawii gets up there, he might know that there's only one searchable item left because he's already got Edric's armor and he already found the token, so he knows there's one more searchable item left already.
Yeah, but for him it's a 50-50 though, because remember, he still has to get through a lot of stuff right now.
True, but I didn't think that the Stones of Sunlight or the harp were available in a search location.
Oh boy, and speaking of level 15, look at Game Boy's HP.
Oh wow, I didn't get to see it. Was it big?
2, 4, 11, and 3 on level 15.
Okay, but 103 is a manageable amount of HP. That's where you can start considering, especially 117 magic is insane. And Ouijawii is now 15 as well, it looks like.
But here's the thing. I don't think the Datyedyeguy is going to be in play anymore.
Oh, I would say almost definitely not. Unless it's a level 16 get is, what, 30 HP or more?
Otherwise, forget it. I'll just dive to Sharlock right now if I was Game Boy.
It's interesting. Did Sparkover ever get a dragon scale or no? Oh, it's just her agility rating. Never mind. Because I know gameboyf9 didn't.
Well, Game Boy's about to get his rainbow drop, and I believe he's gonna dive to Sharlock right now.
Once you get that big HP boost, you gotta feel confident at least being able to survive down there.
Especially with a 140 attack power and 89 defense power, I say your odds of surviving are pretty high against Dragon Lord 2.
But the green dragon gets the best of Ouijawii.
And within an hour and 27 minutes, Game Boy has decided to dive into Sharlock.
And he's the first one, and I cannot stress this about how great these 4 players are. I think it goes without saying how talented they all are. I mean, to even be in the position that they're in. But man, some of these breaks are just terrible.
Yeah, from the get-go, you get like what, Dragon Lord 2 breath enemies almost everywhere in the whole entire world right now. And let's see how Sharlock is going to be tameable or not.
Yeah, you never really know what you're getting until you dive in there. Sometimes you get a really great first floor where there are a lot of winnable fights, like you get an Axe Knight like that, and then other times it's just red dragons like that. So we have Datyedyeguy following gameboyf9 shortly into Sharlock. We have Sparkover starting to get some levels by grinding on greens.
Gonna try to dive? No, she's grinding. Never mind.
I wonder if she might be taking a trip back. Well, I was gonna say maybe if checking out the swamp cave, but it looks like she might be going in the direction of the swamp cave. It looks like, and the swamp cave is a good grinding location because I mean you have the 2 towns out there, Motel 6 and whatnot, but you also have the ability that when you cast outside, it takes you right to the northern exit.
And here's the craziest part, though. She does have the Axonite grind inside that swamp.
Exactly, like that's a really great grind in a seed like this where you get 111 MP and you can just heal by walking if you need to anyway.
Well, speaking on Game Boy, he's about to hit to Dragon Lord for any minute now.
Now, I don't know if he didn't find the fighter's ring or he just didn't equip it, but I didn't see that or the dragon scale in his inventory earlier. I wonder if he's going to go into the item room to look for him at all. Nope.
He already had the fighter's ring and dragon scale, and he already equipped it and discarded it already, so the benefits are still there.
Oh, when I saw his item window earlier, I thought I saw that he didn't have those two items. I was wondering how that was even possible. Because I know it was one of their starting three. I thought maybe he just didn't equip it or something, or forgot to.
Well, incoming Guardian of the Dragon Lord right now, and it's a blue dragon.
Gotta be happy to see it. If nothing else, the blue dragon is very predictable in this seed, and you know what you're getting. With so many other enemies having Dragon Lord breath, there are a lot of really troublesome things that could cost you magic on that. Whether you have to cast stop spell, or sleep, or heal more, or whatever. It was a nice enemy to see.
Uh-oh, we might not be able to see it.
To be fair, I think even if he used a heal more there, he'd still be in a pretty decent position.
The odd fool is Dragon Lord.
Only doing 28 damage there. That's a pretty low roll. Yeah, 50 is more like it. Interesting, didn't go with using the herb.
Well, it's time to count, folks. How much damage does Dragon Lord have today?
Oh, it's time to count how many Axonites are they going to grind on Sparkover and Datyedyeguy screen. And
19 damage for start.
19 and 13. That's a pretty low roll. So,
50 damage.
Yeah, it's 50. Still 66 and having 8 heal mores left. You're in pretty decent spot. 84 there, and then 97 it looks like. $108. $128. That's pretty good position. It looks like it's just about a good enough spot where even low rolls will win it all. And that's a 10. That's a pretty low roll. And we have our GGs ready in chat because gameboyf9 is about to return to the winner's circle.
I'll call Game Boy with a finished SRL time of 1 hour 34 minutes and 41 seconds. G.
great run on a tough seed. To beat that seed in under an hour 40 minutes, considering how difficult it was, is incredible.
Especially at level 15, it's pretty impressive.
Once he got over 97 and was guaranteed to get a shot every time around, he was doing too much damage. It was a lock. Meanwhile, Ouijawii is now suffering the consequences because his HP is 104 right now, and he knows he has enough strength where he'd be able to take on a Dragon Lord if he just discovered a little bit more of the map. He wasn't interested in grinding at all. So now it looks like the Datyedyeguy is in the best position to make a Sharlock run. I think that he's in the basement right now, but I don't know which floor if he's in any right now. Oh no, he's in the swamp cave, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to grind off, but I believe he's on his way now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's a joy watching some of these players who have a lot of experience play, because you see similar play styles and patterns emerge where they're doing the same gameplay just on a little bit more of a delay, and it's interesting to watch what the priority is for what they do and how similar it is, but also how varied it can be. Like Sparkover discovering a lot of the map early, that could be awesome, but it really caused her some deaths in the mid to late game. So now she's kind of in a tough spot because Ouijawii can scour the map without having to worry about getting killed by every other creature.
Well, that's true, and we see the Datyedyeguy is now in Sharlock diving right now.
Yeah, I think got the boost up from the recovery and has as good of a shot to win as Game Boy, I suppose, right? At level 15 with all the same equipment. I know I said an hour 40 before, but even if the Datyedyeguy finishes this in 145, that's incredible.
Unless this Gomez stays.
Yeah, that's the fairy flute that he was forced to look for. I don't believe Game Boy picked up the fairy flute.
Boy, Game Boy's with us in the room. GG, good to you, sir.
GG, that was sloppy. That was a sloppy scene.
I was just asking, did you end up picking up the fairy flute or no?
No, I did not. I don't even... Was it in the... I don't know where it was, to be honest.
It was hidden on the world map.
Yeah, the coordinates was for the fairy flute. You actually lucked out, Game Boy.
Oh. Yeah, actually, I really wanted revenge for that star because Cole was very close nearby and it had the token. I'm like, Arr! I was ready to go, ha ha, high spirits.
That's it was funny because it's such a positive thing. When you see that E pop up and you see Edrix, you're like euphoric, and then you see the T for token and you go, oh, useless.
Yep.
It was a great run.
Can
and
we consider that as a whammy?
More like $100.
I like the grind approach. Which creatures were you looking for during your grind?
I don't even remember. When was I grind? I think the main thing, like early on, I was trying to find those Droll Magi's because it seemed to be the only monster I could beat up, you know? And they seem to be showing up about the same frequency as those blue dragons, which were obviously useless. I don't even know what I mean. Once I finally was strong enough, I was glad to knock out a red dragon, but yeah. And then I had to just throw down Hurtmores as I was trying to find everything else once I finally got out of jail. Wow.
You built up a pretty good EXP lead, and I think that using a Droll Magi then, and I think a little bit later you did a little bit of dragon hunting when you finally had enough HP to take them on. It's got to be rough getting all that strength and having all the attack in the world, but not being able to survive 2 hits because you don't have heal more and you don't have enough HP to even enter the battle with a high HP. How do you approach seeds when you have such a low HP?
Well, I think the biggest thing was finding Erdrick's sword. I probably was one of the last people to get Erdrick's sword. I'd be, let's say this, I'd be surprised if I was the first.
You were.
Yeah, you should be surprised.
Okay. Well,
you were the first one to found the sword. Everyone else caught up to you later.
Well, yeah, I find that so surprising because that cave was so close.
Well, I think after you left the swamp area, you could really fork one of 2 ways, and a lot of players discovered a lot of the western side and ended up not diving into that cave right away because they didn't have torch availability or very many torches. So a couple players decided not to go in there right away, and when you went in there, you were able to navigate it pretty quickly, and other players ran into some rough enemies.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I just ran into skeletons and was it Drolls or something like that, and yeah, okay. So I got lucky in that regard.
Actually, Game Boy, we got miscorrection. You were the last one to grab the sword.
Oh, my bad. Oopsie.
Oh, okay.
That's on me.
And being last gave him the early grind. Oh, was I still ahead at EXP at that point?
Yeah, I think you were the first to get hurt more and really be able to use that, because even after a lot of the players got the sword, because the enemies were so overpowered, they weren't able to put it to a great advantage in terms of getting an EXP.
Yeah, and then every time I was like, "Oh, Droll Magi, score!"
Yeah, there was probably a minute turnaround between getting into an encounter with an enemy who could kill you in 2 shots, like a Star Wyvern, or even a blue dragon, a green dragon with some of their hurt more, a metal slime even. So when you have that minute turnaround when you run into a metal slime, you know it's a rough seed.
Yeah, I was pretty glad that I was able to kill 2 of them during my race, but I was a little worried though that somebody might have picked up a metal slime early, like a level 1, 2, or 3 metal slime, and that would have been a huge advantage. But I think they had sleep in the end, so that would have been tough to. Didn't they have? Yeah, they had sleep, so it would have been tough to defeat at the end. But
that's another sign about how lucky you were. They also had hurt more, but they never used it on you. They used it on every other player except for you, it seems like.
Oh man. Well, I don't know. I'll be honest. I didn't think I played all that well, just because I just kept running into just all sorts of. Well, I was running into a bunch of bad RNG, which I mean that happens, you know. I mean you can't help bad RNG. It happens, but Just ran into a lot of that. A lot of kept running into blue dragons 87 times there, but
let me walk you through some of the enemies who had that DL2 breath or hurt more, because even in the beginning the blue slimes had Dragon Lord 1 breath. So that's already bad enough because they're kind of an easy grind early in the game. But the Drakkies had DL2. The Magicians had hurt more. You had Drolls had fire, but that's not really as big concern. You have Metal Scorpions using hurt more, but then you run into Wolves who had heal more and DL2 fire. So even though they're normally 2 hits to kill when to get Edric's sword, you can't even do that because they just heal more up and end up hitting you with DL2 fire anyway. It was vicious early. And then you had the Metal Slimes with hurt more.
Wow. That's crazy. That's kind of crazy.
But you played it very well.
Guys. Sorry to interrupt, but the Datyedyeguy just finished against Dragon Lord with a time of 1 hour 45 minutes and 33 seconds. Go ahead and continue.
Oh no, that's what I was saying before. Like getting a sub or getting a 140 time seemed completely impossible, especially given the difficult navigation. Because every time that you had to respawn, it was quite a trek back because the same guardians in the same spot seemed to be holding everybody up. So even though it felt like a rough seed, did you feel like you were behind the whole match?
Actually, yes, I did. I just felt like I just wasn't advancing and I wasn't getting points and all that because I was killing like ghosts and magicians and scorpions all the time. I just was slowly cranking that scoreboard and that was just the only thing I could think of is just knock out those easy monsters and hope for something lucky and I guess that worked out this time.
It went really well. I think you utilized hurt very well in the early game in combination with the attacks to take down the Droll Magi, and also they were running into a lot of the same problems and they were approaching them similarly, but the initial part, the exploration necessary to get out of the castle, some of the players were having a lot of difficulty even getting out of the poison area.
Yeah. If there wasn't if we didn't start with hurt or heal, I would have quit right there. But we did start with heal and hurt, so it's like, yeah, that's fine. We'll play with it, and hopefully it'll get a little bit better. And it didn't until what was it, level 12?
Yeah, I think I don't know if because when everyone checked their menu for a spell early and didn't see return, I think a lot of the players saw hurt. Maybe not all of them saw heal, and it was also once you got to the, I think 2 steps away, you died anyway. So you had such low HP early that you were in a tough spot. I think that we got the Datyedyeguy in. GG Datyedyeguy.
Hey, GG everyone.
So, how did you feel about that seed? And try to remember less expletives.
Yeah, just what a troll. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the crazy swamp, the low HP, thankfully you had heal, but I mean, metal slimes with the wombo combo, I mean, come on, there was no breaks in this at all.
Hey, GG Datyedyeguy. Think of it this way: the programmers defeated the other match.
That's true.
Sparkover finishes first in her race with Ouijawii with a time of 1 hour 48 minutes and 30 seconds. And I believe we're gonna get Sparkover in for chat too. But so you didn't even realize, because Game Boy didn't run into any hurt more from the metal slimes. That had to be the worst part, the most demoralizing feeling when you finally run into a creature who's not a blue dragon or a wolf with Dragon Lord 2 breath. You run into this metal slime and then sleep, attack, hurt more, dead. That's got to be the worst. What did you feel was the most troubling thing about this seed for you?
Well, just the thing, like, you like to explore in Dragon Warrior, right? This seed was like, you're not exploring anywhere until you hit level 11 or 12 and you get hurt more. Then you can finally go out and start looking for things. Because whenever you go out, yeah, there were Axe Knights, there were Blue Dragons, there were word blocks everywhere. A couple times I was able to sneak out and go and find a couple towns, but I think I bought like chainmail and a large shield or something, and thankfully you started with Erdrick's sword too. But yeah, you try and explore, and there was just a lot of nopes, a lot of nopes.
I think maybe an hour and 20 minutes into the game, I don't know if anyone had gotten more than 1,000 gold for longer than a minute or two. It was so dire. And then when you finally got an opportunity to gold grind, you find that area in the back of Garinham, which had 3 gold chests that you would have killed for in the beginning of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun in hindsight, but in the middle of it, I'm just like, oh, come on. Give me something.
Speaking of being joined by Sparkover, our winner from the other match, GD to you, ma'am.
Hello, thank you.
Very well played.
That was kind of stressful, but it was fun, and anybody who knows me will know how happy I was to see actually starting with Swamp. It was a treat.
You say that now, but I think in the early game you had some trouble because in the initial part, I don't think you realized you had heal. I think you saw you had a hurt and didn't see heal up there.
Yeah, I overlooked it a little bit right in the very beginning, but it's okay. We got through it.
Oh no, you killed it. In fact, even though you got started on that grind a little bit later, you had explored more of the map earlier than every other player, and you'd gotten into the collection of items a little bit earlier. Finding Rimuldar was a huge find, but what do you think was one of the things that was more difficult for you with this seed?
The entire middle of it. I had a giant section where I just tried to leave and no one would let me, and it was just a lot of dying and going back and forth. That was pretty brutal. Like, that's really what worried me the most.
Yeah, you were like way behind Ouijawii in the beginning until you just made that major comeback.
Getting those keys opened up the opportunity to progress on your quest items, and once you got the quest items and were able to concentrate on the grind, it made up a lot of that EXP. And I saw the strategy was the first time you dove into the mountain cave. The idea was to save the treasury so you could grind that, right?
Yeah, and then that kind of backfired on me.
Yeah, because I think if that would have gone, because I saw what you were doing there, if you would have gone through the progression of chests in the cave, I think that would have saved you about 10 minutes, and you had a really, really good pace going into that too.
Yeah, it was a shame. It's one of those things that I was just kind of torn on what to do, but I figured I would do the mountain cave first just in case there was anything that would just kill me right away. So I always had the backup of deciding to go into the treasury right away if something killed me, but that didn't happen, and then the grave really didn't want to let me inside, so that was great.
And the other thing about that is you didn't have enough gold to buy keys, so you had a limited key set. So if you dig into there and don't find gold, then it's almost worrisome, because now your advantage getting keys earlier in the game, that could go away because you just can't afford anything else.
Yeah, so I tried to keep them stocked up. The only thing that was not good was when I actually had to go buy keys so I could open the treasury to open the mountain cave, or to go back into the mountain cave.
Yeah, that was a rough spot. So were you able to, I think around level 8 or 9, you were able to kill a metal slime, right?
Yeah, somewhere in there. We had stop spell, and that got me to be able to kill one.
I that's what I was gonna bring up. I didn't realize this until I had looked into the stats for it, but the metal slime had 0 resistance to stop spell, and I think that it really would have made them a way better grinding creature, but I think you're just so used to them having a high stop spell tolerance. That's something I'm definitely going to try next time I run into a metal slime, because I never really run into them being able to be hit with any spells.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even necessarily thinking that I'd be able to kill one for sure, because I figured it would run from me. But considering that it did sleep and hurt more, I figured it would be smart enough to at least try, just because I had more of a chance of living through it, even if it just ran from me after a stop spell.
And with a time of 1:55:09, Ouijawii has finished the race as well, and will be joining us in chat.
He won't be joining us.
Oh, won't be. I'm sorry. My mistake. So, having gone through that seed, what do you think? What do you think was a good thing to spend your early gold on? Now that you know everything in like hindsight, did you think? Because I saw some went with the chainmail option. I think there was one small shield club combination.
What did I do? I had the silver shield, or small shield, pardon me, and leather armor, and then I upgraded to chainmail, and I passed on the club for whatever reason, but then I found the sword shortly after that, so that wasn't too much of a trouble.
Yes, I thought the chainmail pretty quick and the small shield, and yeah, finding Erdrick's sword. And I ended up diving into the mountain cave a second time to get the gold, so I could buy myself a large shield. I'm not sure if you can. I don't know. There wasn't a lot more gains. I don't know if, grinding the gold and the mountain cave for half or full plate would have really been worth it that much, but maybe. I'm not sure.
I did my gold grind actually for silver shield and magic armor in the bottom of the mountain cave.
Same.
What I did.
Yeah, it was fun, because I mean, just from the way that I found everything, at least, I just chose to go through the swamp cave, just on a whim, saying, well, let's see where it takes me. And it just happened to, the second I saw that the two towns were on the other side, I had everything figured out except for where Sherlock was. So that pretty much opened up everything between keys and then knowing where all the things are.
In a lot of ways, the map was an exploring nightmare, because they gave you all the tools to be able to survive except the HP. They gave you the way to recover, and they gave you double the MP that you had to your life. I think at one point it was something like 37 HP to roughly 74 magic. It was really unbalanced in the beginning part, especially.
Yeah, it was interesting that way. Like, for all the MP we had, and for how the attack was progressing, I pretty much figured that it would be very likely that as soon as the HP was ready to go, then, it would be time. And I mean, at least on the strength HP build, it definitely was. I assume for everyone it probably was, though.
Yeah, all four players went with strength HP. I really think it would have been tough to do a different build, even though strength agility wouldn't have lost you too much, but that early HP would have been unwinnable.
Yeah, like pretty much when I saw level 14, I want to say, the second last level, 14, I pretty much figured that, it was probably safe enough to just fight my way down and, get HP and call it a day. And it turned out fine. Sherlock was a little bit rough for fighting things, but I found some very friendly werewolves. They were my best friend.
It's one of those rare seeds that's safer underground, because in all the dungeons and in all the caves, and even in Sherlock, the enemies that you were running into were far less threatening than the ones you were running into on the Overlord map or Overworld map.
Yeah, I found a almost nice zone just to the west of Cantlin, which was not totally safe, but relatively nice for sort of, early-ish grinding past the very initial stages, but nothing that I was ever really super comfy with.
Was it like the area with the Dracumas?
Close to that, but not quite. It had wraiths and warlocks that were really appealing to me, and then the Star Wyverns, which were scary, and then Druid Lords, which were great until I realized they had Dragon Lord breath, so that got old quick.
Yeah, I want to get a total for everybody about how many enemies in this entire seed had Dragon Lord 2 Breath, but I want you all to take a guess how many had Dragon Lord 2 Breath or Hurt More.
Oh, I'd probably say at least 8 of them. I mean, was it Green Dragon? Yeah, Druid Lord, Wolf, Metal Slime, Wizard.
Oh yeah,
This is off the
Wizard.
top of my head.
I'm guessing 8 to 10-ish.
Yeah, I think that was my guess. It was a lot. Well, I got hit with Goldman fire as well.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh no.
yeah, I was trying to get rid of a Goldman so I could have some, gold, but no.
There were a total of 10 non-Dragon Lord enemies who had Hurt More or Dragon Lord 2 Breath.
Yeah, pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's like a quarter of the roster, and that's actually a lot. What is the average? Maybe 5? Because you need 50-50 for a monster to have special attack, and then it's 1/4 chance for it to have Dragon Lord breath of some amount. So yeah, that's about 5 monsters on average, give or take.
It was a very sprawling map as well, so they gave you guardians at specific areas where a Star Wyvern would block you in one area, and they'd be nice enough to give you an Armored Knight in another, or a Blue Dragon in a third, and then they hit you with that safe spot with the Druid Lord, who now has DL2 Breath, or the Knight who does.
That's been a big thing with this new version, with the latest version. Well, pretty much all the 2.0s. We've just been having all these snake-like maps where you pretty much have one direction to go and you have one zone to go through and you've got one guardian. That's just what it seems like to me. Whereas it used to be, sometimes it would do that, but most of the time you would have a chance to choose a direction that you could go to, and you could kind of pick your zone here. So perhaps that may be something we have to look at obviously we won't look at it right now, but perhaps that's something we may need to look at after the tournament ends. Who knows? So
now I've only been playing for about a year or so, but I remembered maybe now it's more than a year, because I remember in previous versions where there was one large continent on some of the seeds that it was more open. I guess that was like the 1.0 version, and the 2.0, one of the upgrades was that you would have 2 continents used more often.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. And I think it's just resulted in those more snake-like maps. So again, we can't deal with this right now because we're not going to change the rules while the tournament's going on. But we definitely well, I won't say we definitely, but it might be something that we all should look at.
Oh, I think that it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate the upgrades and the advancements to the builds, and I have a great time with it. But this seed would have flummoxed me.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those, I call them one-way maps, just because you pretty much have one direction to go in order to get somewhere, and yeah, so it was fun. Well,
everybody played really well. I'd like to give a shout out to all the runners, all the commentators, and to everybody tracking. There we go! Exclamation point to see. I want to appreciate. Thank you, Chitin. I got a chance to play Chitin last week and do commentary. Always a pleasure. Do any of you runners have any other comments to say about this seed overall?
Swamp.
Yeah, swamp. Yeah, we might as well have played big swamp mode. But thank you to all the commentators. I will join Will in saying thank you to all the commentators and the restreamer and all the the trackers for their hard work, not only for this race but throughout the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of work to put these up and everything. So hopefully it was entertaining. you know, the seed I'm sure was fun to watch. So I'm sure it was good.
I'm just excited because I have my my soundboard 2/3 of the way done, and I can start to incorporate that in my commentary, which will entertain. I have no doubts, and I will definitely be taking suggestions and recommendations for them.
Whoa. Sweet.
Oh yeah,
So,
I'm going all out.
so I can have a curse sound at will.
See, I made sure on any clips I had that would have a curse sound, I had a slide whistle, so I would play the slide whistle for that that duration.
Oh boy.
Trust me, it's not bad. It only happened once or twice.
All right, very good. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. Thanks again. Good game, everyone.
Yeah, good game.
Great run, everybody.
Yep. GG, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for all your hard work. I cannot wait to rewatch this race.
Oh yeah, it was a joy to watch, but sometimes you had to cringe at some of the rough luck running into you.
Well, with that said, I will thank High Spirits for restreaming the match. I would like to thank our trackers, DarkRed12 and CyberDark86, and of course, I will thank my partner, Will Wagner Music. It's been great fun, bud.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to everybody else's matches later in the week. Do we know what's on the schedule for the rest of tonight into tomorrow?
There is 2 more matches left, actually, for tonight, folks. So I believe we're going to be rating Randomizer 2 with that next matchup right now. So with that said, I'm Kaiton619 saying good fight, good night, and make sure your moves are always excellent. Have a good night, everyone.
Janice Zeal versus Tyrannix coming up next.